Hi everybody, this is a video to show you how to take through Design Space the new SVGs to cut some lidded boxes with an insert to take 1, 2 or 3 of these 8-ounce candle tins. These are the same tins that I've made the gable top stacking boxes for, but just a slightly different design of box. So you get within the bundle of files you get a box just to take 1 tin, and then one to take 2 tins, and you can also have a choice of a lid with cutouts or a solid lid, and then there's a box to take 3 tins. These are quite big tins, they're about 8 centimeters across, so this one is a very big box indeed. Okay, so let's bring them into Design Space and we'll have a look at all of them, and then we can just see what paper we need and everything. Whoops daisy, don't know what I've done there. Try again. This is the box for 1 tin, obviously. So as usual, the first thing we need to do with any multi-part SVG that's got scores is we've got to convert the lines that come in as cuts but which actually need to be scores. And with my SVGs, they always live in this top first subgroup in your layers panel. So just click on that second line down in your layers panel to select the group and everything in it. Go to your operations menu, click on basic cut and choose score from the drop down menu, and you can see that those lines have been converted now, and while they're still selected we need to ungroup them. Second step is to select the subgroup below which has all the cuts in it, the pieces and the cuts within them. All we need to do there is ungroup. And the third step is to select the whole SVG and ungroup it a third time. So now everything is separated on screen. The scores are separate, the cut pieces are separate, and we can attach the scores to the single piece that they relate to. Quickest way to do that is to click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to more or less enclose it and attach. I'm on the desktop version for PC, and attach is at the bottom of the layers panel. These 2 pink pieces are the lids. With each box you get a choice of lid, one with a cutout that you can see the top of the tin through and one with a solid lid. This blue piece here that looks similar to the lid is the base. You can tell it's the base because the lid has a finger cutout and the base doesn't. And obviously this is the insert that folds up and the tin sits inside. Okay, so remember this is the box to take 1. We're going to choose 12 by 12. It's just too wide for A4. It would work on letter though, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. Letter is 216 wide. Yeah, you'd probably be able to choose letter there. Yeah, 279 by 279. I think that's... No, 216 by 279, isn't it? You would get that on letter though, definitely. Just use your standard mark, put a piece of letter on, and if you... I don't know why it's saying you can't actually. It's well within the dimensions. 216. Let's just go back and double check. Yeah, it is. Only just, admittedly. Oh no, it's not. You've got about 15mm to play with there. That's crazy. That would definitely fit on a letter-sized card. But because it won't let you choose it, you've got to choose 12 by 12. In that case, you'd need a 12 by 12 for the base. That's the insert. That will definitely cut from A4 or letter, but I think that would as well. And then the actual, you wouldn't cut both lids, would you? So let's just say hide selected, and we can choose 12 by 12 again for that one. Yeah, so 12 by 12 for the base, although I think it might go on letter. 12 by 12 for the 216 by 279 is letter. I think they'd definitely go from letter. That's interesting actually. In the instructions I've said that you need 12 by 12 for this, but I think it might work on letter. So that's good, isn't it? A bit more economical. Right, I'm not going to cut it, so I'll cancel that one. That was the box for 1 tin. And I'll bring in the 2 tin box now, which is this one. So again, we'll go through the scores, select the first subgroup, convert it to score and ungroup it. Select the next subgroup with all the cuts in it, ungroup it. Select the whole SVG, ungroup it again. And then you can attach scores to the individual pieces that they relate to. And again, just like the other one, you've got your choice of lids, one with cutouts, whoops, One with cutouts and one without. I'm thinking a step ahead, so I'm just going to get rid of that now and we'll send that to print. Let's just see how big these are. Yeah, just too big for A4 and too long for letter. So these, I've put in the instructions that you can cut these from 12 by 12, but this is the one that's a little bit disappointing. You're going to have to choose the long mat and A3. Now, if you are using an old machine, uh, the older machines like I am, I have an original Maker and an Explorer 2. I can choose A3 and tell it that I'm using A3 on the long mat, but I can actually put in my machine the standard mat and a piece of 12 by 12 because I know that this will just cut from 12 by 12. If you put your paper on the mat just a couple of millimeters away from that very first white line, white grid line on your mat, it will cut from 12 by 12. And us using the older machines can get away with the standard mat. But I think if you've got the Explore 3 or the Maker 3 that checks your mat size, you are going to need the long mat for this box. That's the lid. Again, you're going to have to choose A3, but it will just cut from a piece of 12 by 12. So, sorry to the newer machine users, you're going to need the long mat for this job. Us on the older machines can get away with a standard mat. So I'm not going to cut that one. And now I'll bring in the really big box, and we're all in the same boat with this one because it's a really big box, this one. So again, just zoom out a little bit. Select the first subgroup for the scores, convert them and ungroup them. Select the second group for the cuts and just ungroup it. Select the whole thing and do that third ungroup. And then again, we're just attaching. I'm using Control A, Alt A actually on my keyboard to do this. It's just a bit quicker. And again, I'll get rid of that one because it's just the alternative lid. But this time we absolutely do need the long mat, and we can use tabloid or A3 depending on what you can buy where you are. Why won't it let me go further down there? Let's have a look. Go back and check the size of the lid. 411 millimeters. A3 is 420, so you got 9 mil there. Just slightly less than half an inch. It will definitely cut from A3. Just don't be afraid to put in what you know will actually work. Know the size of the piece and understand what will work. So there, yeah, it won't let me. Oh, it'll let you choose tabloid because tabloid is slightly longer than A3, isn't it? But in the UK, in Europe, if you can get A3, just put, you've got the long mat, you've got to use that, you've no choice. Position your A3 paper just a couple of millimeters away from that first white grid line on your mat and it will cut for sure. It will anyway. I certainly didn't think about it when I was cutting mine and it cut just fine. All right, that's that. There, you get a PDF of how to assemble these boxes, but they are super fast. The insert is just folds and the base and the lid make in exactly the same way. They're really quick to make up. But if you have any difficulty when you come to cut or assemble it, don't hesitate to get in touch. The links to get in touch are in the description below. And if you've just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, the link to do that is there as well. I've also posted the link for the candle tins, which I purchased on Amazon. They were purchased especially for a customer who wanted these boxes making. But they are lovely tins, a gorgeous matte finish on them, gold inside, and not too expensive either. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.